What's going on? Welcome back to A Lady and a Gent.
It's me, Ashley.
And of course, it's me, Phil.
Listen, first of all, I want to tell everybody thank you for everyone who wished me a happy birthday. My birthday was the first of the month, and I just want to say thank you, thank you.
Yep, she got a first of the month check. No.
Hey.
Use all of them right about now, right?
Listen, we all get checks around here. Where the money reside?
Where the money reside.
Where the money reside?
Where the money reside.
But in all seriousness, we're just gonna get right into it.
Yes, we do. As y'all know, last week, I believe it was last week.
Yes.
I get my dates wrong.
Last Sunday.
Harry and Meghan Markle, they interviewed with Oprah to get down to the nitty-gritty of what actually happened over in England and why they're here. And the interview was great, but when you hearing all the backstory behind it.
Listen, I'ma just say this. Meghan learned in English she was black. Not saying she didn't know she was black, because her mama is gorgeous.
Oh, she is beautiful.
A gorgeous woman. Black woman. So that's why everybody's like, oh, but she's biracial, she's black. Listen. We as black people know what it is. Let's just start there, right? Mm-hmm. And she went over to England. And at first, it's like, you start interacting with somebody and they're really nice to you, but as soon as you start getting a little too close, it's like, okay, wait. It's too much. So I feel like she really learned. She was like, blackity black, y'all. Mm-hmm. Over there. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know. She kind of put me in the spirit of Lady Diana.
She did.
Because, she went against the grain against the royal house. And, that's kind of set the queen off. Kind of set Charles off. He's like, And I think Meghan kind of reminded them of that. But then there was the underlying stuff, the blatant racism, which, the royal house is denying.
Are they?
I mean, Prince William came out.
He did. He just said, no, we're not racist. The
Yeah.
Queen's statement was like, girl, you a whole queen. You couldn't have came up with nothing better. All these advisors, you couldn't have came up with something better to say, sis? No. So we're going to backtrack. Because we're getting ahead. It's just a lot, and we're so excited to talk about it. Mm-hmm. So let me specify what I said about Meghan. Realize she was black, because for those of us who are of color, those of us who are black, specifically in the black community,
y'all, and I'm black, y'all.
I'm black. That's the only experience I can speak about. Here in America, Meghan is what you could call almost as what we call passing. If you don't know what passing is, it's where you don't know what their ethnic origins are.
Right.
So here in America, for the most part, Meghan would be what we call white passing, right? In a sense that to black people who would have ever saw her would have knew she was black, because we just be knowing. I don't know how.
I mean, that's innate in us.
We just know. We can tell, but we're not gonna be like, oh, nah, we're not gonna do that. And so I kind of feel like that's why I said when she went to England, at first it was cute, right? Because, well, she kind of has this white passing. A lot of people, as they said, did not know she was black, but she's never hit her mom, who is black. So, and Meghan's dad is white. And so in that sense, she wasn't hiding that she was black. It's just people just didn't care enough to really dig deep in to figure it out, right? She never not cared. And so sometimes when you don't look a certain way, people treat you a certain way. And I feel like she got treated as black in per se. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
I can see that.
And as I've been watching a lot of black Brits, just to kind of understand what's going on over there, because it's a different experience as being black in America and black in other countries. So I was just kind of watching their perspective on it as well. And some of them were saying the same thing too. And the notion also was that, well, if y'all are gonna treat a woman who is of passing look, right? How then are you gonna treat somebody who looks like me, who's clearly not passing, is nothing but a black woman. So if you're gonna treat somebody that harsh, then what? Ain't no hope. I mean,
Nah, we would get it probably a lot worse.
and that was the theory behind it, but you know, I just want to clarify that because
You know, even though I didn't get my invite in the mail to the royal wedding.
you neither.
I mean, you know,
Me either.
I talked to Harry. I was like, look, bro, I thought we were invited. He was like, well, I thought I sent it out, but I did not. But
He
forgot.
called
Yeah, you
You
know.
got Harry number. Harry
Well, he changed his number, you know,
Obviously.
since he came over here. You
He
know.
he deleted his WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Gotcha.
I mean, that was terrible.
Sometimes people ghost you. Apparently, you know, Piers is mad that Meghan ghosted him, but child, we don't even gonna get into that in this video, but we gonna talk about it.
It's coming.
Also, we as black people are not surprised that none of this is happening. No, are we?
No.
From one black person.
I'm
We're not surprised by no means. I think the shock is that they said it. It's almost like you thought it, but you said it.
I mean, one of the things that I do if somebody says something like smart alecky, like no matter where I'm at, I'm like, why are you saying what I was thinking?
Yeah,
That's just me.
yeah. They said what we thought was, and you didn't want to acknowledge it, but also we don't live under the British rule no more. So I guess people were kind of just, not the black people because they knew, we knew. Even the black people over there, they knew.
I mean, you could tell when you look at stories from back then when they were out and about.
Yeah.
You know, as a Duke and Duchess, how people were looking at them differently, how the rest of the royal family would just kind of standoffish or separating themselves from them, like
Right.
social distancing before social distancing, put it that way.
And also, just because you don't say explicitly racial things does not mean there are racial undertones or it's racist. Like, we're gonna need to stop with that notion that that's not what's happening. It's happening. We are telling you, other people of color are telling you, other black people are telling you. It happens all the time. But because it doesn't happen to certain people,
Right.
they just don't understand, well, how is this happening? Like our good sis Sharon, we're gonna talk about that another time.
I'm gonna just say it like this. Now, it's 2021 and everybody's sensitive about everything, including a plastic potato.
Oh yeah, I heard about that too.
That
I just thought it was potato. But anyways,
if we're being sensitive about this stuff, then why can't we accept the same sensitivity when it comes to racism and, you know, making a person feel welcome because of race instead of, you know, pushing them aside due to their race? If we're sensitive about a toy, why can't we be sensitive enough about race?
people don't want to acknowledge it. I think my biggest thing was, which we knew all this was happening, but when she said that Harry told her that somebody questioned the skin tone of what the baby was gonna come out, bruh. There's no other way but to take it. Like, there's no other way but to take it as racist. Like, I'm sorry, you cannot ask somebody what color their baby is. You just cannot. As black people can't ask other black people what color their baby is. I've never had nobody black ask me what color my baby would be when I was pregnant. Never. Did anybody ask y'all what color your child was gonna be?
No, but after he was born, they said he kind of looked Puerto Rican. I'm like, well, he hadn't really got his pigment yet, but...
Listen, I've had that happen too. I'll tell y'all a story. So when my daughter, she was a baby, I remember, and God, I mean, this has been a long time now. And this lady, I don't know, I was just pushing her. I don't even remember where I was. I think we were coming from the doctor's office. And the lady was like, oh, she's so cute. She's like, is her father Puerto Rican? What?
Somebody said that about my wife too. Like, is your wife Puerto Rican? Like, no.
Like,
We're the same
why
complexion.
are you saying that? So how am I supposed to? And I just looked at her and I was like, you know, I was much younger, so, and it was caught me off guard, and I could have went off, but I'm like, I don't even know her, so I just kind of went, no, and that was it. But looking at it, that was racist Because her first word was, "Oh, she's so pretty, so cute." She was complimenting my child, and then goes, "Is her father Puerto Rican?" So now you're asking me, what you're telling me is that my child can't be pretty or cute because they're black. It has to be another reason. That's what that statement means. So that's the same reason of, oh, well, what color do you think it's gonna be? First of all, as black people, we already knew that baby was not gonna be either one of us. Neither shade of me and Phil. On no level.
No.
On no level. So once again, also now it's this, you have no understanding, you have no care to even know about not being white because it doesn't affect you. But then to ask, is your baby, like what color my baby?
That is the ultimate disrespect to a mother to be.
Yeah, but remember, they said it to Harry. And so when I hear other people commenting, white people, about, well, maybe they were asking, just ask it. They weren't. And the fact that Harry, as the white person, felt offended by the comment, it tells you it was wrong.
I could say for Harry, that's a man's man, because he's a royal, born and bred as a royal. Mm-hmm. But he said, no, if you're gonna disrespect my wife, we out. Done deal. Like, I'll leave all this behind because I love her. That's a man's man.
That and they're not accepting of his child. So even the same thing of, the titles they're saying they weren't given to him because they feel it was rape. Yes, there's some racial underlining to that because, as she stated, Eugenie and Beatrice have their princesses. And if the queen is the queen and she can make the decision, why not make the decision to just give the baby title? I'm just saying. Like, I'm sure my grandma, when my grandma was alive, any and everything I wanted and she could do, she would do it for me. Now, my grandma was the queen. Child.
Yeah, but Queen Elizabeth simply forgot one thing about her past. If she went up her genealogy, that she's related to Queen Charlotte, who happens to be a black Moor. So it's in her bloodline.
Not the Queen Charlotte of the QC of this.
Most definitely.
Okay.
She forget that's in her bloodline.
Okay.
I see that.
But it's just very sad that these are their experiences and people are doubting. One thing you can't do is tell somebody what to feel about something they experience. You just can't, whether you agree with it or not. Sometimes people tell me stuff and I just be like, I guess, but in my mind, I'm not saying that out loud. But once again, I can't tell somebody how to feel about how they were treated or something they experienced. You cannot do that. You
That's
just
true.
can't do it. It's wrong because you wouldn't like for somebody to do that to you. It's like telling somebody who was sexual abuse. But did they really did they really molest you, or did they just kind of touch you too? Like, what are you talking? You can't say that. You can't say that.
That's grounds for a beatdown.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what it's saying. Some people, well, that's too extreme. No, it's not. You can't tell somebody how to feel about something they were treated, and then to tell them it wasn't right. Like, no, are you sure? But are you sure? Like, are you sure that's how it really happened? Yes, I was there. I'm sure that's how it happened. Such and such did A, B, C, D, E, F, G to me, and it made me feel like X, Y, Z. I don't understand why people don't understand that.
As we always say, make it make sense.
Make it make a whole sense. And then you're questioning whether she was her mental state and she came out and said, listen, this made me feel this way. I felt unsafe. I felt that I would cause myself harm and my unborn child harm. And people are making fun of that and saying that she didn't say that? Bruh, are you dumb? Or are you dumb? Because you sound dumb.
Well, in Britain, that's like the royal family, that's their biggest celebrity asset that they want to protect. So they can't do any wrong.
But they have a whole mental health foundation. No, did y'all not know? If y'all didn't know, they have a whole mental health foundation. Like, let's just, once again, we're not gonna go out here. So it's basically do as I say, not as I do. But let me take it back. But Diana told y'all this. If nobody's ever watched her interview, you could see it here on YouTube. I've watched it many times. even before this, because I just, I'm one of them nerdy, geeky people who like to watch stuff. But she said that. They showed it in The Crown. I don't know if they got to that point in The Crown. I believe they showed it, but I watched her interview. And she said when she was pregnant with William, remember, she was bulimic, and she would throw herself down the stairs. She would do all these things, mental health things, and people were just acting like, oh no, we've never heard of nobody. I'm sure they all got mental health issues. Not as in actual diagnosis, but there's no way you could live that type of high pressured life, right? That sort of microscopic life under such scrutiny and not feel some type of way about things or question your sanity at times. Or we all go through it as normal people. It's okay if it is okay if you're feeling depressed. It is okay if you're having thoughts. It is okay. And it's also okay to get help.
Yes, it is.
Also okay to get help. I told y'all many times, I worked in the mental health field for a very long time. If somebody so when I was a social worker, we are considered mandated reporters. There's specific people in certain jobs that work, and I'll let you know. You're a mandated reporter. I know teachers, police, obviously police, social workers, hospitals, certain hospital staff. You are considered a mandated reporter. Meaning, if, let's say Philip came to me and said, Ashley, I'm feeling unsafe, I have to report that. Because if he goes and does something to harm himself, and I'm found here in the States, let's put it this way, it's then found out that he told me that, I am now liable. Because I didn't help you seek help when you came to me for help.
That's true.
That's why when parents or people wonder why kids go to school and they might have an investigation, because if a child says something that is concerning, you have to report it. If a child goes, oh, somebody touched me in an inappropriate way, or I'm hungry, my family doesn't feed me, you have to report that. It can then be unfounded or founded, but you have to report these things.
That's true.
So the fact that she came out, which is very brave, because a lot of people don't talk about, thoughts they have, or if they're struggling mentally any kind of way. And now you're going around saying, I don't believe her, or, to say that you were a prisoner, yes, that can be very real. You can live the best life and be miserable. Being unhappy is not subjugated to poor people, or poorer people, or people of not high wealth or positioning in power.
Yeah, money will bring you happiness for a little bit, but if your mental state isn't there, it's just stuff.
Listen. It was definitely a good conversation starter for many things. And also, let's listen. Just because, once again, just because you think somebody has money does not mean that they cannot suffer. They might not financially suffer, which is a different form of suffering, or a different form of struggle. Let me rephrase that. Struggle in life does not mean people don't have struggles.
That's true.
People need to stop doing that as well. Once again, certain things are not relegated to just because of how much money you earn. No.
I'd rather have my peace of mind.
Okay.
That's first and foremost, And if I hit the lottery and my peace of mind is good, I'll be filming on location somewhere out, But I'm just saying.
We're gonna do a Zoom. It's gonna be Zoom videos.
Right.
We're gonna block his IP address. I'm be like, where you at, cousin Phil? Oh, you can't find me.
I won't even use my real face or my voice. Where you at?
Well, I'm qualified. Don't order.
But yes, we're not, I know how our personalities, but we're just saying that simultaneously things can be happening at the same time. So is it possible that the queen was not racist and having racial undertones? The royal family is not racist but have racial undertones? Possibly. Is it possible that they're doing things because sometimes people don't, once again, we have our conscious and our subconscious. And a lot of things that we do, we don't even know we're doing them.
That's true.
It's subconsciously happening. It is these undercurrent tones and things.
Right.
Right? Like, oh wow, you're so very well spoken. Why would I not be? Are you surprised? See, that there is what we call those undercurrent racial tones.
I heard too many of that. I went up.
Wow, you're so, yeah, you're just so articulate.
Even from my own people.
Yeah, that's another video for another time.
Oh yeah.
But it's these things that you don't even know because you're just seeing it so much. It's just so ingrained in our societies
Right.
that you don't know what's happening. Even Harry said it. He said he was in a sunken place. He might not have watched Get Out to know to say I was in a sunken place, but he did say me. I was trapped. My father's trapped. My brother's trapped.
He woke up and got out.
He got out. Megan was over there with the teacup like, come on, Harry. No, not Megan, but they was over there with the teacup. Just, you know they like the tea. I too like tea. But it was a lot.
It was a lot to unpack.
It was a lot to unpack, and I really think what we're unpacking is the response to it. Because once again, we didn't know it wasn't happening, and the fact that they were, you know, the people, the pundits, right, the experts or people commentating, it's like Harry only left because of Meghan. Nah. That's one of my faves on YouTube, Little Black Book 91. Y'all don't watch his channel, go support the brother. He's a black Brit. I've been watching a lot of his stuff. He's been talking a lot about this. Once again, he's black, he's British, so he has a level of understanding in the British society that we don't have, because I don't.
So, with that being said, it's a lot to unpack.
It was.
This will take about 2 or 3 videos if we were to get really into it to drive through it.
Or an hour long, but yeah, I know. Y'all let us know if y'all want us to run our mouths like that.
Because we ain't got a problem with it.
Listen, my teachers used to say as a child, she's a sweet girl, but she just talks too much. It's okay.
Really? I just got put out of class.
But we want to know y'all thoughts, right? Leave them down below. How do you feel about what's going on? Whether you like royals or not, that's not even the point.
True.
How do you feel about what they're saying? Are you, do you live in Britain? Let us know. Are you a part of the Commonwealth? Let us know how you feel. What impact you feel these statements have made. We want to know. Leave them down below.
And also, don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Share the channel. Just share. Sharing is caring.
That's what my niece tells me. As always, we will see you in the next life.
See you in the next life. What?
Pause. As always, we will catch y'all in the next videos. Later, cousins.
Bye-bye.